voodoo, like I said, it's a lot of things that people do fear a lot in voodoo. Sorcery is one of the greatest things that they fear. Voodoo is perceived the universe as a magical cosmos in which man is born of magic and all men are potential magicians. Sorcery is considered to be magic utilized for bad intent. But like I say, it's pretty much, you can pretty much find some of that stuff even in Christianity. I've heard a Christian that has kneeled down and prayed and asked God to do a very selfish, ugly favor for her. And so like I say, that kind of intent can be in any religion. It has nothing to do with just voodoo. And I wanted to talk about zombification. Zombification is when some of the voodoo practices and stuff, and this will fall under the line of sorcery, where they would go and dig up a freshly dead corpse, and they would do like a ritual and a ceremony to bring that corpse back alive so they can use them, and they call it a zombie because the personality is not like the personality when it was alive, but it's actually enslaved to the person that brought it back to life, which is not nice and it's not fair, but it's something that has been done and that is being done. I've actually seen a zombie before. If you ask me what it looked like a person that had like a mental disorder of some kind that was just not quite together in the head, whatever. And people have reported that their loved ones have died, and then they'll find them alive, and they'll be living. So don't doubt it. Don't doubt anything in your life. Never doubt anything like that. I mean, I can tell you a whole lot of stories. So, and I know you all don't doubt it because y'all wouldn't even be looking at my station right now. Okay, and it talks about the voodoo ceremonies and how, you know, you invoke the spirits and stuff to get started. And it says the Onfo, now I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know, O-U-N-F-O. The voodoo temple comprises of communal space, I can't see, the peristyle, at the center of which is the sacred post, the poto mitten, around which the ceremonies revolve. Surrounding the peristyle are smaller side rooms known as badjai, which are the altar rooms that house the divine and ritualistic objects. A typical Rada ceremony to feed the spirits begins with liturgical prayer, drumming, and song. Each spirit responds to its own particular melodies, lyrics, and rhythms. During the ceremony, the Angan priest or manbo priestess salutes and greets many of the spirits from the eternal pantheon. Okay, and so that's a little small portion of that. And I would like to let you see it. I'm so sorry I didn't let you see the other pictures, but to kind of let you see that they're getting ready. Okay. Okay. So, and then it talks about the ceremonial possessions. A lot of the times during the actual ceremony, the particular god or goddess that has been called on to, the people that are participating in the actual worship will take on the characteristics of that particular god and goddess that was called. They do blood sacrifices in voodoo, and I'm sure you all have seen some of the blood sacrifices done by goats and chickens and probably other animals and stuff. Okay, and here's some of the tools of the trades. Like here's the playing cards he was talking about. Like my auntie taught me how to do readings with cards. But as a child, I always had magic with cards. I always won all the card games and couldn't figure out why. But here's some of the tools of voodoo. Some of the beads, the gourds, the bells to ring to summon the spirits, the knives to do the sacrifices and stuff, and the chair and the hat. I want to read about that hat and the different scarves and cloth because they wear very bright, colorful cloth, most of the time white. The hat, I'm interested in this. Okay, this is the hat of Papa Zaka. Never heard of him. I'm always talking about Papa Legba, so y'all know it's a lot for me to learn. Music and dance, always, you know, you're gonna need some drums and stuff like that. On that, a drum here is right there. Some drumming and some dancing, because the Lords, they love the music, you know. And the symbols of voodoo. Let me let you look at some of the symbols. In voodoo, most of the not most of the God, that Catholicism is borrowed and used a lot in voodoo. And I kind of wanted to show y'all some of the objects and stuff that they used, which I don't see much, but this is what they have here. Right here. I see the cross there. Okay, symbolic VD. Let y'all look at that. That was actually somebody worshiping. Here's some of the VV, and maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I know y'all will let me know. These are different symbols. Each lower has a different type of symbol. Okay. Okay, let's talk about voodoo bottles. Okay, voodoo bottles are pretty much like some of the things I was describing, but people would dress them up like Catholic saints and a variety of other things. I hate to just cut and chop it up, but just do for video time. And voodoo dolls. Now, there's a thing that says that there's a thing out there that people are saying that voodoo dolls are not in the actual worship as far as the practice in Benin, Africa. And that I have not found that to be true. And they even say in Haiti that only time a doll is used is if a twin had a twin to die, they will make a doll to represent that twin and have that twin spirit in there. But I'm finding out, because I've seen some work, and I've talked to some people that yes, they do have voodoo dolls there in Benin, Africa. They did do the voodoo doll to represent a particular person that they wanted to inflict harm on or to make well and heal, you know. So yes, they did. Here's a voodoo doll in a bottle. They will use all kind of dolls. They didn't just sometimes just create a doll, but they would do what you call a rebirth on a doll, a reborn doll. I'm fixing to get ready to do one on her. I found her at the thrift store. She wasn't but 99 cents. And what I'm going to do to her is I'm going to dress her up for Marie Laveau with the kinky hair and the thingy going on in there. I'm going to make her own dress and gems and stuff. But I got a feeling that this is going to be given out in a minute. Let me see. Oh, I got a little bit more time. Okay, so here's some of the bottles. I thought they were so beautiful and creative. Y'all check this out. These are some nice bottles. Look at that. It's another YouTuber on here that has one of the beautifulest altars, and he or she makes some of the greatest bottles. And I said I really want to get into dressing my bottles up because my bottles are real plain. But anyway, the sequence bottle, I love it. I went to New Orleans and there was a guy sitting on the side of the corner that was making the sequence hat, and he had the sequence bottles, and I just almost just went crazy being down there knowing that I could just talk about voodoo and not be looked at as a devil. And the atmosphere there, I'm telling you something, when you go to New Orleans near the water, yes, you do get tipsy. You can get very drunk in the spirit there. It's just a whole different feeling. I've gone some places, and I've never felt the feeling that I felt on the waters. Okay, voodoo is one of the inspirational forces behind the rich abundance of painters, metal workers, and flag makers in Haiti. The role of priest and artist is often interchangeable. People don't realize that artists themselves are healers too. It's just so many terms for it. But anyway, they're just showing all of the different abstract expressionism and different arts and stuff like that of the painters in voodoo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this, okay?